Greetings gamers! I want to sit down and discuss the new changes for Dancer for those of you that might be interested. I know for one, when I hit 90 on my Dancer, I was kind of sitting there struggling to decide what to level myself. So I figured maybe I could be of some help and, help out people that are interested in Dancer maybe. Whether it's your main or your alt or whatever, maybe I can give you some more information to help you with your decision. I also want to mention that this is not a definitive guide. It's possible that the community comes up with a better way to optimize everything. So this is just my impression as a Dancer main upon hitting 90 5 or 6 days ago. Time gets a little bit blurry when you're gaming so hard. Anyway, compared to Shadowbringers, Dancer feels a lot more refined and smoothed out. In Shadowbringers, the idea was basically during our buff window, we would hit Flourish and have all these procs, and we would empty our procs, empty our fans, and we would try to fit in a dance in there. Now in Endwalker, we have a lot of different things to fit into our burst window. The idea is still there, but the rotation feels a lot more diverse. In general, you could say maybe it makes Dancer a bit harder, which is something that is welcome, I think, to Dancer, because it's always had that sort of stigma of being an easy class, which, hey, it is what it is. But that being said, I don't really think it's the easiest class anymore. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's my opinion based on what I've seen so far. With all these abilities added and the rotation a lot more refined, it makes it feel a lot more smooth, and it gives you that nice hit of job identity, something that I think was a little bit lacking before comparatively, because when you play this now, it really feels like it's the way that Dancer was intended to be played in the first place. It feels like you're actually in a rhythm when you're playing. There's more flashy abilities, and it feels like you're actually dancing. So in Endwalker, we have a few new tools to work with, starting with Fan Dance 4. Fan Dance 4 is an OGCD that does a frontal cone AoE, and this procs off of using Flourish. And you'll notice this is a common new theme with Dancer. Every time you use a cooldown, there's a nice new flashy cool ability to use right after it. So Fan Dance 4 is another fan ability to stress out over, I guess, but this time it's a lot more fun and cool to press, and it feels a lot more like it flows with the rotation. It's definitely a satisfying ability to use. You'll notice that it's kind of a short range, it's only 15 yalms, and it's 15 yalms wide as well, so it's a pretty wide cone in front of you, but it doesn't hit very far. Talana is a second step you get after using Technical Step. It also acts like a step, meaning the OGCD after using it is shorter. This is something that has commonly tripped me up as I get used to it. During your burst window, you're sort of stressing out trying to dump and empty out all your fans and OGCDs. And we're so used to double weaving that, you might end up clipping a GCD by accident. That's something that I've done, and it's just something to get used to. Starfall Dance is a finisher you get after using Devilment. This is a huge hitting ability. It's very satisfying to use. It sort of shoots this Chakram blast in a line in front of you. And you'll notice in this clip right here, you can line it up for enemies that are pretty far away for some extra cleave damage. Just like in this clip, you can see that the enemies are pretty far away. So this is a nice addition to Dancer, and it's a small skill cap raiser for some extra damage, something that, will separate the good dancers from the average dancers, I think. Fan Dance 4, Talana, and Starfall Dance are all abilities that you want to look to put into your burst window. So the same idea is still there, like I said before, but these all allow Dancer to do some fancy things, and it feels a lot more smooth. It feels a lot more satisfying rather than just kind of being stressed out about just emptying everything into your buff window. It's more like when you press these abilities, you're excited to see them go out, and you're excited to see that big number come up, especially after using Starfall Dance. All these abilities are very satisfying to use, they look awesome, and I think it's gonna make me personally stick with Dancer for a lot longer. So moving on to defensives. The new improvisation ability is a lot more fun and interactive to use. Instead of sort of just hitting it and letting it do its thing, it's a bit more active. What you want to do with it now is you want to hit it and let the stacks go up for that extra shielding. What the stacks do is it raises the shield percentage by 1% every time, with the fourth stack being 2%, totaling 10%. The only thing here is that you can't really weave it into your rotation anymore. What us Dancer mains used to do is we would just kind of tap it between global cooldowns, and we would get that 10% healing cheese like 3 seconds after. When you use it now, it's a lot more of an active effort to get stacks and shield your team before the timer runs out. I would say the closest thing we can do for a quick benefit is we can just kind of accept the fact that we're gonna drop a GCD and just tap it twice. You still get the base healing over time, and you still get that base 5% shielding on the party. So the next one is a little bit more of a smaller change. There's just Shield Samba, and 30 seconds have been knocked off of it. It sounds a little bit small, but I've been doing these extreme fights a lot so far, and you can really notice it. It's almost like you can mitigate literally every other raid-wide damage. I think Shield Samba just feels a lot better. Since at least in the new trial so far, it feels like there's a lot more raid AoEs than what we would usually get in Shadowbringers and before that. Overall, Dancer is always going to be a solid pick, and it will always have its place in a raid. You really just can't go wrong. I think overall, it's probably way too early to try to rank it on a tier list, but I'd have to say Dancer feels very strong. I don't see it being low tier anytime soon, but you know, things can always change. At worst, people will still appreciate having a Dancer, either to increase their damage or, you know, if you want to help your friends parse. You know, everyone loves a Dancer, it's great. So overall, if you're stuck undecided, if you're looking to have a job that looks great, has a smooth rotation, and has tons of support capability, you'll be very happy with Dancer. So that about wraps it up, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know if I need to change anything or improve something. Let me know if you liked it or disliked it or whatever. And good luck in the queue. I'll see you guys next time.